But that being said, time for the main meat of the event. Grand Finals of BPL Vortex. 8 teams into the ring, and only 2 are going to be playing in Grand Finals. But only 1 will walk away with that nice trophy. It is a nice trophy, keep in mind. Yeah, B Nation Rise has basically just stopped existing at all. Which is kind of crazy. Can't wait to see who's going to be up for the game of the century here. Because this is going to be a match for sure. I think it's like Ulster Project and Rough Sketch, right? Those are the only 2 producers in Beat Nation Rise who pretty much produce. Wow. Look at that 3D CG trophy render. How many hours in Blender do you think that took to make? I really do like how much effort they put into the production values for these though. Cause like, man, even at like YCS Invitationals, you do not get this kind of level of flair. This is something I keep saying about BPL. Like, BPL has consistently been super good quality this season. I do appreciate also that they use resonant wings as the theme. Also, can we not show everybody crying? That's kind of it's kind of awkward, isn't it? But God, it feels like I'm watching something that is actually kind of worth pay-per-view, right? Like, this is really good production value. We get to see the highs and the lows, the pop-offs, and the crackdowns of every single team up to now. Oh, we got sick team intros too. This is gonna look really nice. Team Gigo. Of course, with the esports pose. Oh, they're all doing the esports pose. Alright. Taito Station Trads. We know he's taking the trophy home, but I won't say anything until it happens. Also, I love that they changed the font for the now playing songs. That's really funny. Here we go. They're laying out the red carpet for the teams now, so it's gonna be really cool. School assembly ass looking set. Nah, dog, don't do him dirty like that. I do appreciate that instead of just calling it the ring, they go the extra mile to give it a special term for BPL, the Nemesis Arena. It's that kind of level of charm that really makes you appreciate these kinds of competitive venues a little bit more. And then again, in a way, it is kind of like Arena, isn't it? Because just like Arena mode, you have players facing off against each other. And the stakes are pretty high. Probably not as high as some might expect, but still pretty high in general. I think if you look closely at some points, you might actually end up seeing the some members of the teams in the crowd. I'm not too sure, because I know a lot of them were watching at X Bar, so that's one thing to factor in as well. Yeah, a lot of players were basically watching these games at X Bar the whole time. Like, they weren't necessarily in the audience, which is quite impressive. it is nice that X-Bar has basically become this sort of haven for rhythm games and competitive events in general. Like, who would have thought of a cafe for big rhythm game event venues, huh? Because you have stuff like Club Mogra for like club stuff, right? And that's really big. So hopefully X-Bar continues to maintain that momentum, because watching this is really fun, for sure. Right, here we go. We're already cracking things off here. Just like in wrestling, it wouldn't be a grand final if the players didn't walk up to the venue themselves. They're even flying their team flag. God, this looks so clean. See if they give me high fives and everything. That's so cool. I didn't realize how close this stage was to the audience. BFO finalists, true. When are we getting 2DX at EVO? That would be hype. But yeah, I digress. I like the pen lights too. Oh wow. Did they actually like get their entire wow, they got their murals all fully signed and everything. This really does feel like a wrestling match, huh? Oh, Kodai getting serious. And he fumbled the unraveling. Yeah, to be fair, it happens to everybody. But the names for these themes have been revealed, and they are available to play now. So, if you have access to a Salvoltex Valkyrie cap near you, go ahead and start unlocking these. The theme for Gigo, Starter Pistol, and the theme for Taito Station Trads, Reitenshi, are both available to play right now. So you can go play them now. Do it. They're good songs. Is that a selfie stick? Oh. Oh, they're going in reverse order of draft. That's really interesting. Murakami's such a friendly lad. I love his optimism. Whoa! Oh man, look at this! Is that a GoPro shot? I think it is. Whoa! Look at this. Juanito really showing up with the Huh? This really is a wrestling match. Holy. Bro showed up with the steamed buns? Hot damn. He had that in his pocket the whole time. Huh? He's still eating. You gotta get them calories up before you start playing, you know? Grand Finals is no easy feat. You can really tell the difference in demeanor here, though. Taito Trats are basically here to have a good time, and Gigo are really in it to win it. The difference couldn't be night and day here. Just for the bit, I do want to see Waniro continue to eat this whole time. I remember no food or drink on the cabinets, so very likely we'll probably have to see him stop eating, which is unfortunate. But yeah, how are we all feeling about this Grand Finals? Both teams are probably equally skilled here, but that being said, Grand Finals is basically where the gloves come off. Anything can be played here, anything can be picked here, and more often than not, teams will be picking the songs that they are best comfortable with in order to win. So really, I can't leave anything in the air at the moment. There's nothing to say except the best players and the best team will win. I'm really excited for this, to be honest, because this is going to be really hype. So first up, we have Kawa-chan and Daiki on comms here. As you go into the first match. The format will be basically the same as it has been since quarterfinals started. So we'll have a single match to start off with, a mega mix, then a tag battle in the middle, then another mega mix, and then one more single battle to close things off.
いやもう私もこのやっぱ本当オープニングの場面でこうやっぱ選手の思いをこう皆さんが背負って登場されたなって本当に伝わって。
Both players have been preparing. Both teams rather have been preparing so long for this moment. It's gotta be honestly just a testament to their skill. Who ends up getting the upper hand here? First matchup, a single battle. Peak, tricky, and one-hand themes. Shiron Team Gigo versus Misobi of Taito Station Trats. Shiron's picks will be... Stop, I can't read that out loud. Shiron's pick will be the Trashes. We were just talking about this. Whereas Misobi's pick will be... Divine's Bug Script. Alright. These two songs are very different in a lot of ways. But I'd argue they're very difficult nonetheless. For Trashes, I was talking about this just earlier before the stream started. Formerly used to be a 19. Got re-rated to an 18 in Vivid Wave, but literally half an hour before this, ended up getting an Exceed 19. So it'll be very interesting to see how both players can fare on this exhaust chart here and now. It's a fairly old chart, so we'll have to see if both players' memories are up to snuff here. That being said, Divine Bug Script. Very fast, very high BPM. 48th note trills. There's a very infamous set of trills somewhere around the 2/3 mark that is almost completely going to determine who wins that particular song pick. But Misobi has shown that he's very confident on those kinds of very fast, very dense, very high performance charts. So it's not a pick you pick lightly for sure. We definitely get to see these differing mentalities and song picks going up here. Because we get to see more of a tech pick versus more of a more endurance, stamina-based pick here for sure. Very curious to see how both players stack up, because having this kind of stress put on you in Grand Finals is not going to be easy for sure. We've seen players cracked at far less, even before Grand Finals have happened, so getting to this point now is going to really push you to your limits in terms of mental and physical performance. Because it is almost guaranteed that the single battle sight read will be a 20. And we all know what sight read 20s are going to be like. So let's start it off here. Divine's bug script. These opening trills here are not too difficult if you understand the timing, but they can decide who wins this match or loses none the same. Very interesting to see. Misobi and Shiron are both on the same high speed here. Shiron already pulling through without any sort of offset modifiers to hold him back. Maybe the 0-0 offset might be godlike here. Already pulling ahead with such a clean advantage. But Misobi has come back from dire depths than this before. Does look like we're getting up to this trill section here. Kayuki songs in general are often very dense, and Divine's bug script is no exception. This is a shot that will test their stamina very, very heavily here. And on cue, we are right up to the trill section here. It is just about to come up. Here we go! Both players handling that beautifully, but Shiron is still maintaining his overwhelming lead over Misobi here. This is definitely a chart where if you understand how to hit these trills really well, you will excel. And Shiron is proving that nonetheless here. So very clean. This is an overwhelming psychological lead for Shiron right now. He really needs the edge he can get here. But they did mention here that there was cabinet trouble, so that the plays are actually reversed. As you probably remember, Misobi was the one who picked Divine's bug script, but we saw Divine's bug script first, so this does mean that this match is entirely thrown out. But nonetheless, we will still watch it through to the end. Very interesting choice. Misobi going for mirror here. Just got a sneak preview of that before we saw him move on to the song select there. This is an interesting discussion, actually. Picking mirror on these kinds of charts is definitely something you don't do very easily. When you pick mirror, you go into it knowing that you play on mirror better than you do normally. Or you pick mirror because it removes the specific mind block that you would have with the chart normally. So perhaps maybe this might be a new strategy that Taito Station chats are picking out. Vertrages though is one hell of a chart to think about, especially for a former 19. First half of Vertrages is more or less just holds. This can throw you off really quickly if you're not used to it. Especially with the X-Seed having a lot more dense, very fast-paced and very split second one-hand patterns.
これを行ったり来たりさあ戻していったトラッツミソル選手さあこういったところで少しずつクリティカルが出てしまううまくいなしていきますが大輝選手見てていかがでしょう
両者うまいですね。ミソビ選手もかなり対策されててここは、数点差に抑えているという印象です。
さあ現在3ポイントリードシロン選手さあこのまま取れば
But Chargers is definitely a chart that doesn't feel hard on its own. But there's a few elements here and there that make it quite difficult when you look at it as the sum of its parts, for sure. These one-hand patterns really put you at the edge of your seat here. And then having to time some of these jacks in particular puts you on your toes quite a bit. You can definitely see why this was re-rated to an 18, despite being a 19 beforehand. Oh! Does look like Shiron is going to keep this going here. Can he get a UC? But a 3-point lead is very tight. Oh, Maximize 21 is very clean. Wow. 7-0 is not a bad score by far. Misobi is definitely not feeling it, huh? Definitely not happy with that performance, that's for sure. You can see it on his face.
この後の試合もメンタル的には大丈夫なんじゃないかなと思っています。はい。
I'm actually not sure. Was this match thrown out or not? I don't remember. I think they just left it as is. But either way, a lead to Gigo is something they will take fully in their stride. They've come so far now. So to go up against an opponent like Taito Station Trads requires their utmost attention here. See Shiron definitely debating just how hard that match was. You definitely see it wasn't easy for him either. させていただいたんですけれども、やっぱりこうなんていうんですかね、各曲の難しいフレーズを計12曲プレイするっていうところでこう一個一個の緊張感。Now we move on to the second match, the grand finals. 明確にこう点差を突きつけられる。Taito Station Trads 2 points behind. その事実を常に知った状態。They've done so well to get this far. So really, whoever loses is still an incredible achievement. It does feel very sappy to say, you know, whoever loses or wins, it doesn't really matter because getting to grand finals is impressive. But nonetheless, both of these players will make sure that their team will be the one that comes out on top. Depu of Team Gigo versus Waniro of Taito Trads. Let's see their picks. Dip's picks. Ooh. A lot of some of the very often picked songs that we've seen before. Whereas Waniro going for a very similar strategy here, actually. Ooh. There's a lot of visual bugs this time for sure. Definitely does feel like the VFX team is jumping the gun just a little bit too much for my imagination. But these picks are definitely picks we've all seen time and time again. And they have been the deciding factor in many a Mega Mix battle long before this. 得意にしていそうなワニロー選手がレベル18のパワーで押してきたなという印象をかなり受けてますね。先ほど肉まんを食べていたワニロー選手。
この手を振る姿は往年のジャイアント馬場のような
そうですね。
大きく両手を上げていって、こちら、ね、観客を皆さん沸かしておりましたけども、改めて大輝、
はい、
この2人の戦いどう見ますか？
そうですね、デープ選手の選曲は結構始まったところを覚えていないと結構びっくりしてしまう、鬼売りだったりザ・ジェネレーターだったりフアイアムっていう曲がメインで、まあ、
I guess we have cap trouble as well as visual trouble, huh?
という印象で、対してワニロー選手は
ワニロ struggling to get through the password entry here.
サムライタイガーだったり
Very interesting.
結構縦レンダーだったり物量が多めな曲が多い印象です。
さあそして母ちゃん、はい、エクシードギアの初のしどころ、はい、なんか自分でね、
They're just going through what strengths each player has here.
そうですね、かなりこう
Going into this Mega Mix round.
その時その時負けているのか勝っているのか。
Depu has been a pretty strong contender in Mega Mix so far. We've seen him do quite a number of feats, even so far as in regular stage.
そうですね。こうやはり有観客ということで空気に飲まれて緊張とかで固まってしま
He's been a consistent player, that's for sure. And I think out of all the players that have managed to reach pretty much up to semi-finals, he's shown honestly one of the greatest rates of improvement overall. I think Depu has definitely grown the most as a player, and you can definitely see that in his Vol Force, because he basically went up like a whole Vol Force sub-unit between regular stage and grand finals, which is honestly very impressive. But I think that speaks a lot to his strengths as a player, being his incredible amount of growth, because he has really shown just why he's worthy of being in BPL, especially at this kind of level. To get to grand finals, you need an incredible amount of mental fortitude, and to top that off, you need to be very willing to improve on many levels, aside from the fact I just kicked my cabinet out. So Depu has definitely grown, honestly, by a country mile since BPL started. While Waniro has shown himself to be more than capable of duking it out with some of the best players. Waniro is honestly just an incredible player in general. Just a player who has come out of nowhere and shown immense amounts of skill. If anything, I'd say Mega Mix battles have been Waniro's weakest point by comparison. Because these kinds of battles where momentum can swing one way or the other is definitely something that he struggles with a lot. Also, it's very interesting that they didn't fix the name checks for these. Second pick being Volusneria though. These one-hand trills are really difficult to time properly. Gosh, it is impressive how cleanly they dealt with that. Volusneria is not an easy shot because of all of the camera issues that go on. Ain't no way, Blonde Missile beat, bruh. True. It's very funny that even in grand finals of BPL, we can't escape KonMai quality. We're gonna see a lot of one-hand trickery in grand finals here, huh? First with Volusneria, and now with Shinwa Nimebuku. A lot of shots that really force you to get a little bit creative with how you hit these. Also, was that audio delay? Wow. That was really interesting.
さあワニのタンドエキシードギア発動レベル2
Having to use your exceed gear when you're at such a big points disadvantage is really risky. Because it's very easy for the other player to just simply use their exceed gear as well and just outpace you if they get it right? I feel like using exceed gear in general is very much a psychological tactic, where you generally just tend to use your exceed gears for the purpose of throwing your opponent off, more so than for the points gain. Because usually your skill will be the determining factor in whether you win or not.
さあ対するデープ選手も星こちらエキシードギアが溜まっていましてレベル2で発動
And almost on cue, Depu is going for his exceed gear level 2 here.
しかしデープでこれがブルーの場をかなり押し上げていきます
Again, exceed gear is very much a psychological tactic.
これはデープ選手の精度がとてつもないかもしれないですね
I think this is a really interesting aspect of Megamix battles in general. Just the fact that you can swing momentum so quickly and so easily in one player's favor, but that momentum can easily be taken away from you in more or less one move. And that move is often very unpredictable and generally times comes out of nowhere to win the other player the game. So it'll be really fun to see how these Megamix battles fare up here, considering these are the last Megamix battles of the season. But we are seeing a lot of one-hand patterns today, huh? Just a lot of one-hand shots in general. But 1-0 handled that cleanly, wow. That was a masterclass in how they hit that. Oniyuri maximum hit with the very infamous Jack. And then some more Jacks to throw it in there. Let's see how they both deal with the FX Jack here. Very well done on both players' sides here. Both players are doing this very well. It is very much a game of exceed gear ping pong at times, doesn't it? It feels very much like a game of hot potato more so than a points-based game, where you basically force your opponent on the other hand to see if they're gonna pop exceed gear or not. Or generally speaking, it's like you rely on your skills for a good overall early lead, and then you start playing the game of will they or will they not, using your exceed gear. Which is very, very, very interesting. People don't often think about the mind game aspect of exceed gear because it doesn't use S-crit like the other games do. But that being said, it is still incredibly complex.
さあこの辺りデープ選手がリードしていてエキシドギア2発動したので刺さりました11逆転
Gosh. It's gonna be very... It's gonna be tight to see who ends up winning this. The fact that there's a big warning when your opponent uses exceed gear is really off-putting for sure. Just like a big alarm bell going, hey, guess what? Your opponent's doing the thing that might lose you the game. Do you want to use yours? But it does feel like a game of hot potato here. God. I actually don't know who will win this. Depu deciding not to go for his exceed gear level 2 here. Very, very smart choice. Well informed on both players' ends, actually. Depu just saving it for the last moment. Knowing that if he wins this or even gets a tie, he can at the very least force another tie of his own. Ending on Shinmani Mebuku is dangerous. Wow.
さあいよいよラスト曲になります。
I think Depu lost the last round of this, so he's really gonna have to pull out all the stops here. And almost on cue, just like the commentator's curse foretold, he is struggling here.
アウトロこのままいくと
さあ最後も難しいんですがこの差は覆らないか。
He does not look happy at all.
選手見事
One it off the pop off.
さあ体で
Taito Station Trads equalizing the game.
このメガミックスバトル地方戦を取りました。
This is gonna be a grand finals for sure, right? Man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man.
そうですね、やっぱり最終ターンで結果が決まるっていう状況は
Gigo with the first blood, but Taito Station Trad's going? Nuh-uh. It ain't gonna be that easy.
しかも勝負しなきゃいけない。そういった
These are gonna be some really intense games here. Holy.
さすがだなと感じました。
大輝どうでしょう。
そうですね、まあ、最終、曲に選ばれた、神話アニメブックはデープ選手も選曲していた曲だったので
You could really tell Depu was struggling with Shinwan Nimebuku in
だ
particular.
と思うんですけど、その中でも
A lot of those
マニロ選手の本番
fairly high BPM one-hand patterns were just too much for him.
対等トラッツに関しても
I think that is definitely something that Trads was taking advantage of
され
there.
てしまっていたので、なんと
Being
しても
able to play shots that
欲しかった一勝だと思うので
really,
ここは同点
really
に持ってき
just
た
do
のは
well
かな
to
り
their
でかいのかな
strengths.
と思います。
Stuff that Gigo probably wouldn't be as well prepared for.
まもなく発表されます。
Again, it does feel like another differing battle of philosophies here. Gigo going for very unorthodox picks, the songs that will generally catch people out of the game, whereas Taito Trads are going for stuff they're very, very, very comfortable with. But in this case, actually, the stuff they're comfortable with is stuff that other teams would for sure have a much harder time getting a grasp on. So seeing it go up here is honestly a breath of fresh air. There's a much different element to these kinds of team play and more visual glitches. That's so cool. That we haven't yet seen in BPL, I think in general, really. And now for the tag battle, no Tsumami and hand trip. Hodai and Depu of Team Gigo versus Murakami and Waniro of Taito Trads. These are two pairs we've seen quite often for tag battles, actually. So, Old Faithfuls. Gigo going for Gokusai Tenso! Another Kayuki song, huh? What's Taito Station Trads are going for? Temblor! Oh man. Going for a 19 here in the tag battle. This is the first 19 we've seen in the tag battle for BPL Samvoltech so far. So this is going to be really fun. It is quite worrying that Gigo didn't go for a 19 yet. So maybe Taito Station Trads are going here with full confidence. Whereas Gigo are definitely going to be in the back burner for sure. This might be tough. But Gokusai Tenso is by no means an easy chart. Like a lot of Kayuki songs, Gokusai Tenso is very dense. To top it off, that density is actually quite determining in terms of general accuracy. Like, Gokusai Tenso in general is pretty tough to time on, I would argue. I'd argue that even at this level of play, most players will have a difficult time getting super good scores on it. So picking it here is something that Gigo have done more or less in full confidence. Perhaps desperation, who knows? but they have picked it in full faith nonetheless. And it is a strong pick. It is a strong pick. I think we've seen at least one other Kayuki song picked during either the tag or single battles before, and it was no less easy than it is now. So hopefully we get to see that demonstrated here today. But here we go. This tag battle will be instrumental in determining who gets to win this. Starting off here, Gokusai Tensou is pretty straightforward so far. But progressive rock as a genre isn't particularly easy in a game like Sound Voltex. And here we go. Already starting to see the first signs of some pretty tough density here. The 16th and 24th stairs are not fun to time in the slightest. And they only get tighter from here on out. God. Taito Trans are trying to push through and make for a miracle, but Gigo keep kicking them down further and further with each successive pattern. Every measure slowly pulling away with a massive advantage on their end. Halfway through the song now. These one-hand jacks in particular and mini jacks are quite tight in terms of accuracy. You have to be quite firm with your button presses in particular, because sometimes you will inevitably mess up when you end up hitting the second or third note in those mini jacks. You have to be very confident when you start hitting these patterns, and confident Gigo seem to be. Look at them go, man. These are clean runs from everyone involved. But a 36-point lead to Gigo might just be it on Gokusai Tensou. And a very clean PUC from Horai takes it for Gigo. What an amazing score. Max minus 22. And the black screen. That's so cool. Ooh. This is a pretty intense game. Wow. I didn't expect it to be this close. Because usually in a grand finals, games this close are like a 1 in a million, but I guess BPL for Sound Voltex really said hold my beer. Because we are going and we are going straight in to Temblor Maximum. Now Temblor is a chart with some very precise one-hand patterns throughout. Especially with these kinds of patterns thrown into the mix. It's a very fun 19, but you do have to be very careful with your hand placement on some of these patterns, because these measures are brutally unforgiving. Especially if you end up missing a laser, because at 200 BPM, dropping one chord, one laser, just dropping anything in general really is going to be detrimental to your score. And we are definitely starting to see that here. It all comes down to SPUCs for sure. S-crits rather. Because even though you can UC or PUC, your accuracy is the only thing that matters here. Look at this. Even with the UC more or less gone on Gigo's end, they are still maintaining a very clean 21-point lead. Oh! But might we see a turnaround? They're hanging in there! Oh, the scales keep tipping further and further in Taito Trad's favor. Oh, what a turnaround! Oh, what happened? Kiko lost their focus at the wrong moment. Taito Station Trad's now with a 32-point lead. Can they maintain this momentum and go for a double UC on top? These one-hand patterns are not going to be easy. Will we see a turnaround? Oh! Wait! Wait! Who will take it? Wah! Gigo with a last-second turnaround! What a comeback! They dropped it, then they held it, and then they took it back again! Whoa! Unbelievable! Oh, when I said I was expecting it to be close, I didn't expect it to be this close! Oh, mother have mercy! This is one of the tightest games of any competitive video game tournament I've ever seen ever! My god! Forget a last second turnaround, that was a last measure turnaround! Oh, Taito Trats are gonna have to pull all sorts of tricks out of their hat now if they want to win this, because Gigo are absolutely demonstrating this is not your game. Taito Trats, this is our game. We run this. We run the set. Oh, I'm getting cold chills just watching this match. It is unbelievable. Just when you think the game's decided, the momentum completely turns around and then does a 180 and then does another 180 and then a 360. My god. You can definitely see Taito Trats now a little bit nervous here. Misobi in particular is starting to feel the burn a lot harder. Oh, these are gonna be some fine games of Sound Vortex, dog. This is gonna be a game of all time for sure. The second to last battle. Mega Mix number 2. Shiron of Team Gigo versus Misobi of Taito Trats. Let's see the picks here. Shiron's pick for this final Mega Mix will be... Ooh! Shockwave Syndrome, the first 20 in Mega Mix. That's a very nice pick for sure. Whilst Misobi going for Welcome Heaven, Tengoku e Yokoso, Girl Brother finalists, Reviver, and Kyokuken. Man, you can see the difference here in these song pick mentalities. Shiron going for what he's comfy with, whereas Misobi is going for the death blow 100%. Man, all 19s and 20s on Misobi's end. Kyokuken, Reviver. Kyokuken, Reviver. What was the third one? I don't even remember it already. All very tough 19s in general. Whereas Welcome, Heaven. It is definitely going to be a battle of power versus wits. I totally agree with Daiki here. Shiron is definitely relying on his tech here, whereas Misobi is relying firmly on his earth power. He will become one with the ground in order to secure this win. And he really needs to secure it now, because this is one of the last chances he'll get in order to settle the score. It's not going to be easy. Especially with these kinds of picks.
さらにですね BPM これ5曲の平均
This is the first time I think I've ever seen 20s in Megamix at all.
ハンドスピードが
So getting
ある
it,
でしょうね彼はね
the opportunity to see it now,
対してシロンさんなんですけれどもシロンさんって
it's going to be
メガミックス出たことない
the battle of an age.
謎が多い選手だったと思うんで、みそぎ選手はそこを読めてるかっていうところも
Kyokugen Heaven is
でまあ本当にこの勝負で
not the hardest 19 for sure. It's difficult more so because of the charts it emulates more so than what it's meant to be.
メガミックスバトルといえばイントロ部分はね
But that being said, Reviver is much in the same vein as charts like Divine Spunk Script.
この副将戦からはね
Very dense, very fast, very heavy, very earth power dependent. If you have the physical fortitude to deal with it, Reviver will be clean. But if you don't, it's going to be a challenge for sure. Cobra for finalists.
改めて金子
Man.
この二人の今の表情を見ててどうです
Very interesting that he picked both Kyokuken and Cobra for finalists here.
確定しますので、彼はもうものすごいプレッシャーに、支配されて
Because these are charts that test both your game knowledge
これまですごい爆発的な
and your general
プレー
skill.
をしてきた、皆さん印象に残る選手だったと思うんですけど、
Especially considering that Cobra for finalists is classic Cosmo Bosso P charting, as in, it's not very good.
ゆっくりと体を大きく広げて柔軟をしていますシロン選手対するはやはり緊張感に包まれているのかみそび選手の顔ですね
I don't blame Misobi for being nervous, because he's tense right now.
倒してきてるんですよね
Feels like he could just jump at any minute.
追い詰められている状況ではあるんですけれどもここできっと見せてくれるんじゃないかなと僕はそれを期待してちょっと試合を見させていただこうかなと思います
決して弱くはないけれどこの状況的には急祖猫という形でしょうかせっちゃん、改めてこのメガミックスバトル副将戦シロン VS みそびどうご覧になりますか
やはりそのポイントももちろん大事ですし戦局もあるんです
If
けれども
Misobi doesn't get this, it's going to be nearly impossible for Taito Trats to make it back. Because 4 points are up for grabs here, right? Yeah, so it's actually impossible. Misobi has to win this just to make sure
改めてこの先鋒戦
that Taito Trads are still in the running here.
シロン選手が2立て
Because it's not going to be easy.
はいさあこれを踏まえて玉猫
はい
改めて一言で応援の
一言で
メッセージを
Does look like Shiron's having a bit of trouble with his headphones here.
お前が
IEMs
燃え上がれ
rather.
という言葉ばかり書いてある
Should make that distinction very clear, because there will be some people telling me off for that.
ダメじゃん
いやでもね本当に炎のように熱く、ね
そうですそうです
気持ちを持って
力を
はいそう魂を持ってこのシロン選手今何かね筐体に今あれですかイヤモニで何か喋り
多分呪文を唱えてるんだと思いますよ
呪文
魔法をかけて
どんな呪文ですかね
その多分発動
Very curious to see what Shiron is doing.
何の呪文ですか
エキシード
Guess he's thinking about the patterns in Shockwave Syndrome, huh?
シロン選手いつも
I don't blame him, because Shockwave Syndrome is not the easiest chart by any means.
初でメガネかけてないんですよ今なんか意味があるのかな
となるとコンタクトってことですかね
Who is he talking? I think he's trying to make I think he's trying to make a mental note of the stops in Shockwave
ちょ
Syndrome.
っと聞伺いたいなって
有観客なんでねやはり
I actually think he's trying to make a mental note of
そ
it.
こは本当にあると思っててその緊張感って多分今まで
God, Misobi
人がいるのといないのではかなり
absolutely throwing in everything he has here. This is a song list you pick when you need 100% to win.
こちらの5曲改めて
It's a in case of emergency, break this button kind of set list.
そうですね本当に
Especially a Heaven and Welcome.
という楽曲唯一のレベル18が極限のイグゾーストなんですけれどもあの楽曲も降ってくるのは
Welcome in particular is
フレーズですのでそこを
one of the easier charts if you have that kind of earth power, stamina based skill.
さあこちら対等ステーショントラッ
But in Megamix, it's going to be just a little bit harder because they can come in at any time and it can throw you off your game so quickly. Like, it's It is mind-blowing at times.
準決勝をね思い起こさせるような
Momentum in Megamix battles can go in one player's favor and then shift just as quickly.
村上選手にぜひつなぎたいと思ってるのはタイトルステーション取らずでしょう
But let's see how this goes. And who will come out on top here? Are Taito Trad's days numbered? Or will Gigo have to fight it out just a little bit more? Starting off with Lubida here, Shiron's pick. Shiron relying heavily on his one-hand technique here. The tech picks are going to have to come in clutch here. Especially contrasting to Misobi's very Earth Power stamina picks.
ご挨拶さあ1対1
さあ来ましたもはや来ますレベル20
Misobi giving that nods to the camera, very confident. I can do it.
いやーでもこの後ウェルカムの一番難しいところが打ってきます
100% agree with Daiki. Those trills are difficult. 265 BPM is nothing to snuff at, but Misobi missing that laser. Oh my god. That's too much of a miss. Oh, that's brutal. Following that up with Ghost Family living in Graveyard. Going from Earth Power to stamina based chord charts, baby. Here we go with the chord streams.
精神的には大きい
Misobi keeping the chain.
この楽曲はシロン選手の選曲なんですけど
But Shidon keeping his lead here, keeping his cool.
リードしてるのはミソビ
Unfazed.
2対2に戻してきたさあエキシドギア2つ
Oh, this is going to be a really close one.
温存ですが白ターン
Going into Gerber for finalists here.
有名ですがメガミックスの区間では得点は降ってこないですね
Quite tight 16th and 24th bursts.
高速のトリルがあるのでそういったところで差がつく
His one hand's leaving very little to the imagination on how to hit them here.
白が有利さあスコアバーを押し上げている
トリルが押しづらいです
Very clean on the one hand trill there.
トリルが長いですね
Amazing from both players, but Shidon is taking it back.
してますね
お互いに食い合ってますねはい
Immediately going for Exceed Gear level 2 here.
さあギゴレベル2のエキシドギアを発動して
Shidon is very confident on these kinds of chord stream like charts.
同時押しラッシュが後半にございますので
And that laser drop from Misobi is not going to help him one bit for his confidence. Let's see how it fares here. Oh!
ミソビ選手
That being said, he is pulling it back just a little bit.
といった感じですがもう一個差
Misobi saying he's not out of this fight just yet. Taking it back slowly but surely. Retaliating with his own Exceed Gear level 3. On Kyokuken.
3発動
高速の鍵盤がもう要所要所で振ってきます
Oh!
ここも地味に引かれづらいところです
Very cleanly done on the trill there.
ミソビ選手を押している
差が全然ついてないトリルで入れ替えますねトリルが
Let's see how they do on the one hand trill here. And Misobi with an overwhelming lead at the moment.
さあ白選手ここ
Shidon has to try his absolute hardest to make up the deficit now.
ハンドトリックの面で常に手が反対側に
Going back into Lubida here.
リズムもかなり取りづらいですね鍵盤が表にあってつまみが裏という形なのでただ
These one hand cross hands are pretty tough.
精度すぎて最後までわからないか
おーこれは分からないこの後
But it's still anyone's game here.
さあスコア拮抗していますが若干ギゴ
ここのつまみをすごく
Can Shidon keep the chain? Oh, he's gonna do better than keep the chain. Very clean.
さあ詰めていく
Slowly catching up.
8対11
さあレベル20が来ます
さあトラッツミソビ
Now
選手
going into heaven. Tengoku e yokoso.
道中はそこまでは難しくないんですけれども曲の終盤にヘックスロングをしながらの16部
Some of these patterns are
そういったところでも
really tough for a 20.
ここの配置結構早いので
These bursts are not easy to teleport at all. But both players handled that incredibly well.
区間 P ですか。
さあシロン選手のターン。さあレベル2のエキシドギア発動。
Shidon going for Exceed Gear level 2 on Flower here. Has to keep it going.
さあここで星5個を取れば逆転。
Absolutely cannot afford to lose any ground here now. This is it. This is do or die for Gigo.
この後リズムも取りづらくて押しづらい片手が続きます。ここです。
Both players looking completely thrashed here on the physical front. Their play is very frantic, but all despite that, they are playing super cleanly here. Shidon is able to keep the chain! But it's very, very dangerous here. Misobi having Exceed Gear makes it really tough. It's going to be too close to call here.
シロン選手がリード。この
Sobi dropping super hard is giving Shidon exactly what he wants. Clearly done by Shidon. Umai desu ne.
ついてますね。さあこの
Handling these trills super cleanly. You can see it in Shidon's face.
12星の差3つ。
Don't play with me. These trills are my game.
さあ残り2曲となります。11曲目レベル
Handling it so well here. But Misobi has one opportunity to turn this around.
でも返したい。
He just has to keep this going.
メソビ選手がちょっとうまいか。
Misobi barely keeping it together. Oh, he just has to win this one. And Taito Station Trans are still in it. Can he keep it going? Oh! Misobi with the last minute comeback here. Showing that Taito Station Trans are still in the game. But it's still too early to tell. How are they doing this Tsunami section? Beautifully. Here we go with the last trill. Oh! Taito Station Trans are still in it, baby. Misobi with the win for Taito Station Trans. My God.
心臓が持たん。
Reviver is apt. They have reinvigorated their chances of staying in this. They're still in this game.
トラッツとしては
Misobi
村上
popping off. Hot damn.
6対6という形になります。
6-all, baby. It's all gonna come down to the final solo match.
いやもう無理ですよこんな予想は。
This is so close.
6対6という形になります。もう本当に全てが対象戦にかかったという形。
Unbelievable. My God, man, I'm sweating bullets here.
対するところは
そうですね。やはり村上選手。
At this point,
レベル20
it's hard to tell who's gonna win at all.
のレベル20っていうのは全て
Because just when you think one team has some sort of lead, bam, the other team takes it back.
レベル20を投げてくると思いますし。
This is the true back and forth.
蓬莱選手も
This ain't your mama's Tier Elements format. This is Sound Vortex for sure.
村上選手から何で一本取って
Oh, man.
もう楽しみで仕方ないですね。
そうですよね。
はい。
This is 100% a match. We have a real game on our hands here, folks.
もうね、これ尽きるもんね、本当にね。
本当に弱いです。
Oh.
またここでまだ何を選んでくるか発表されてませんが、
Man, I'm tensing up watching this match because I don't know who the hell's gonna win.
あれを投げてほしいか。
It is way too close to tell.
もうね、投げてほしい曲はあるでしょうが、さあこれはこの
But we get to see the Kingpins here for the final match of the BEMANI Pro League Sound Vortex Division. Hodai of Team Gigo versus Murakami of Taito Station Trads. Anything is up for grabs here, and anything can be picked in the free round. Let's see what they both have to offer here. Hodai's pick is Calamity Tempest!
Calamity Tempest.
Not an easy chart for sure, my god. What is Murakami going to pick? Oh, 666 by Rough Sketch!
まずはカラミティテンペスト蓬莱選手
Neither player holding back here.
かなりもう
Picking some of the hardest charts in Sound Voltex history.
縦連と本当にテクニカルな
My god!
レベル19
Caltemp and
どれ
666.
だけこの曲を理解しているか
Both players here
まず第一関門
doing whatever it will take to win.
られるかという自力勝負になってくると思いますそしてきました666
Choke City is definitely it.
国内では数少ない PUC 社の中の
It all comes down to the last little bit of strength here.
PUC で合ってますかね
Whoever gives up now is giving up everything.
一人が村上選手という
Calamity Tempest is one of the densest 19s in the game by far. It doesn't have that BPM shifting that a lot of other denser 19s do, stuff like Ongaku Resolve or Scorpion Fire, but it's got a lot of very tight jacks that you have to be 100% focused for in order to hit. Whereas 666, the level 20 that needs no introduction, the Rough Sketch Chord Stream City, combined with some very interesting chart gimmicks, and it's still to this day one of the hardest 20s in the entire game. Starting off with Calamity Tempest here. This first opening part is actually very hard to time. I'm not actually sure what time signature this is in. It feels like 3-4 for sure. Whatever the case, it is not easy to time in at all. These jacks are so tight to time on, but Murakami pulling away with an immediate clean lead. God, he is playing this beautifully.
30ポイントが詰まる可能性ももちろんあります
You can see Murakami has to keep herself grounded a little bit here. Whereas Horai playing like Picasso. This is masterful legwork here. His handiwork is amazing here. You can tell Horai is 100% confident in his pick on Caltemp here. Both players keeping the chain, but Horai steadily gaining ground with that 43-point lead. 2/3 of the way through this chart. These bursts and jacks are no easy feat to time by any stretch of the imagination. So Horai keeping his cool here is an absolute testament to how far Team Gigo have come. Highlighting just that you can't underestimate Gigo. We're in it to win, baby. We've beaten so many strong opponents, and here we are. Murakami doing his best to keep up, but it might not be enough. Nearing the end of the song here. Oh, nearing these last few jacks and trills here. Da 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 da. Nearing the end here. Horai with the PUC. First blood to Horai of Team Gigo, baby. Gigo holding it through with a narrow 2-point lead. They have to win the next song here if they want to stay in this. If Taito Trads win the next two, it is Jova. Jowarida, baby. But what an impressive showing from Horai. He's really pushing himself to his utmost limit here. You can see it. This is the peak of Sound Voltex performance right here. Going into Murakami's pick here, 666. This one hand section is probably the easiest part of the chart by far. And here we go with the well-known section of 666. The chord streams followed by the continuous jacks. Horai as well continuing to keep that overwhelming pressure going. Murakami stretching himself just a little bit here in order to keep going. But this is a chart that Murakami has experience with. These split-second one-hand trills are not easy to time on. Both players are handling it so well. Could we possibly see a UC on both players' sides here as well? Man, seeing another UC on a chart like this is going to be something. But that drop from Horai gives Murakami just the momentum he needs here. Horai's just barely holding on here. But here we're going into the first 6 and the lane cut. His chord streams are going to be the ones deciding it here. And here we go with a lane split. Horai just barely keeping it together. Narrow 6-point lead here. But this can turn around at any moment here. 4, 3. Murakami slowly gaining ground. And he turns it around. 19, 30, 42. Going into the last section up here. Here we go. 38, 36. Murakami with the UC. Unbelievable. Bravo. Murakami proving why he's KAC Sound Vortex material, baby. Forcing another stalemate here. It all comes down to the sight wreath now. The level 20. The final song of BPL Sound Vortex. My god. Neck and neck now. It all comes down to the final song. One more song will determine who wins this trophy and who gets to go home as the first winner of the BPL Sound Vortex division. My god, I am blown away, honestly. Horai is really feeling the pressure here. You can see both players are starting to sweat real hard. Neither player has been putting not nearly as much pressure as they are now. They're trying their best to keep it together, but it's not enough. They're about to crack here. Can you keep up with the final, the most brutal challenge of all? The winner of the BEMANI Pro League Season 2 Original Song Contest for Sound Vortex. Sai! Okay. Versus Mori Atsushi! Oh my god! Sudden Death! What a fitting name for this incredible stalemate to BPL. Ifo 99, aka Fukase! Oh my god! So Ifo 99 was Fukase the whole time? Actually, you know what? That kind of makes a little bit of sense. Actually, no, that makes a lot of sense. Oh yeah, you're allowed to record on your phone for this event. I'm pretty sure. I think specifically just for this part of the event, you could record your on your phone. Man, look at Horai. He looks like he's about to drop on the spot. He's nervous as hell. Murakami keeping it together with a little bit of laughter.
モリモリ淳
はい
サドンですと
Man, the difference in mood here is titillating.
アーティストの方々ですけれども、この最終楽曲までもつれたこの試合、まさにサドンです。
You can really tell both teams are trying their hardest to keep their heavyweights here completely mind focused on the game.
ラス前でもう声を飛ばしました
Here we go for the grand finale of BPL Sound Vortex. Sudden death. Ready? Fight. Already starting off with some pretty intense trill streams here. Horai already taking an overwhelming lead once again. Oh, very nice live 2D by Grace here, but unfortunately we're here for the games, baby. Man, this looks very dense. My god, look at these 30-second stares. This is unbelievably dense. My god. Both players dealing with these incredibly frustrating chord streams and trills and jacks, all in their own way. But Horai is keeping his cool here. Never mind, Murakami is slowly inching away with a 4-point lead. Halfway through now. Murakami with a 14-point lead here. Now we can't tell who's winning. My god. Oh, these jacks are insane! But Horai is having a much harder time of it than Murakami is here. You can see the difference in playstyles right here. Oh! God, these bursts are nothing short of incredibly difficult to time on. Oh! Murakami with a 17-point lead here! Who won? Taito Station Trads are your winners of BEMANI Pro League Season 2 Sound Vortex Division! Winning with a 17-point lead! Horai is devastated! But Taito Trads take it home, baby! My god, what a game! Gigo are completely crushed! But fair game to them, they played out of their mind! Holy shit! Now that's an ending for sure! Almost textbook for a finish! Taito Station Trads narrowly winning! My god! What a win! Congrats to Team Taito Station Trads for winning the whole thing! But many jubilations to Team Gigo for making it this far. Cause my god, they did not make it easy for Taito Trads in the slightest. That was a fight to the finish, hot damn. You're never gonna see games like that for sure in a hot minute. I think it's deserved that Taito Station Trads get this win. Because they've come so far and have done so much in order to get here. But man, Gigo really played so hard. They tried their damnedest to make sure that Taito Trads couldn't keep up. And they did incredibly well right until the end. So congrats to them, because that was incredible. But man, whew. I must say thank you to everybody for tuning in, for watching the BEMANI Pro League this far. This has been me, Novalaxia, and for the last time for this season, I'm going to be signing off. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. But I hope you enjoyed. I hope you tune in for DDR, and well, I hope to see you again on the next Nemesis Arena. Thank you very much, and farewell.